Wonder Woman, an iconic superhero, certainly one that holds a special place in my heart. Her strength and courage and resilience and beauty has become a symbol of empowerment and inspiration, especially to young girls around the world. We all love the fact that she has so many amazing accessories. And what's great about these accessories is they have practicality, but then they also have amazing symbolism. From her tiara to her lasso of truth to her Wonder Woman shield, which exhibits power and strength. Her bracelets of submission that are indestructible, capable of deflecting bullets and other projectiles. The Wonder Woman cape that's a symbol of her regal presence and power with its vibrant colors. The Wonder Woman gauntlets that serve as such a powerful weapon. Her headband, which is iconic. Her earrings, and even her belt. And finally, the boots. Our guest today on the GST Factor podcast has taken Wonder Woman and all her accessories and transformed them into business, transformed them into what you need as an entrepreneur, but also what does your business need? We're going to dive into the conversation today with Christy Smallwood. On today's episode of the GST Factor podcast, I have Christy Smallwood. Hi, Christy. How are you today?
Hi, Misha. I'm great. How are you?
Good. So excited to have you share with our listeners a little bit about your story.
Oh, well, you know what? The tables have been turned. I usually ask that question to my people. So my story is, how about we just start currently? I'm a business owner. I have two businesses. I do have a business podcast show called Small Business Success Talk. And I did just take a trip to South Africa. So just come off a vacation that I now need a couple of days vacation for. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a speaker and an author and try to have a little fun playing clarinet in the orchestra in seasonally. So there's that. So that's a little bit to get started with. And I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, and that's kind of how I'm known in the area. So there we go.
Love that. And you and I are both NSA Kentucky chapter members, and which is how we met, and love our community there within NSA, especially our Kentucky members. So, Christy, let's talk about, you have this love and passion about Wonder Woman. Talk to us about how do you incorporate that into your business and how you're working with your clients?
The culture I have with my business is very much superhero style driven, but not in a childish comic book way, but in what the characteristics of superheroes, what they bring to their everyday. There's a difference between, are you going to be a hero or are you going to be a villain? And we want to be support for the heroes. Whether they know that they're heroes or not yet is still to be seen. But the Wonder Woman idea, comes from, what kind of person do I want to be? And she holds a lot of those characteristics that I want to have in my own life. I emulate that. Now, I always joke, though, I kind of need to be stretched. I'm a little too short and squatty to actually be Wonder Woman. Like, I just need to be stretched a little bit. But truth is one of my number one values. It's a big deal to me. And she has the lasso of truth, the protectiveness that she has for others, her strength of will and determination. And yet there's compassion there. And when she needs to have fun, she works hard, plays hard, loves hard, the whole nine yards. And so I just love everything about her. Then the hero aspect of things is when I can treat my clients, I can get them to understand they are the heroes of their business. So it's kind of taking a story brand concept, but applying it to the people within the business. Now they are showing up better in their own business. I'm just putting the mirror back to them and saying, hey, you've got this potential that I see that you might have forgotten. So let's just shine this up a little bit. And it just becomes such a meaningful experience when we can incorporate these kind of aspects.
it was also memorable to say, I want to talk to her and make sure that we get connected because I want to learn more about who you are. So I think that that is one of those sticky components of who you are and your brand and what you bring to your clients, which is awesome. So within the GST factor attributes of being confident, inquisitive, imaginative, being present, resilient, and influential, you and I have had an amazing conversation leading into this around you've been in a season of using all of them at the same time. So let's talk a little bit more about that, Christy.
So, especially confidence and resilience and being imaginative, all of that. When you run your own business, you need to have all of these attributes going some days all at the same time. Depending on the conversation, who you're trying to lead, are you trying to persuade somebody to make a decision? Are you trying to meet new people and attract them in to your network to be able to move on and so forth? I'm in a place in my own life. I've never gotten this far before. I've never been, as Maya Bialik had said it one day on one of her podcasts, I've never been this person on this day before. I don't know how to be this person this day. Every new day requires me to have the confidence to step into it. I need to be able to have some imagination to dream bigger. Like, I don't want to stop at this level. This level's not sufficient enough. I want to do more. So I need to incorporate that. Having the resiliency to just handle whenever things don't quite go as expected. And the other ones, was it the curiosity? Was curiosity, imagination, resiliency,
Being
confidence,
inquisitive.
inquisitive. For me, that's part of what I learned on how to be a really great strategic guide and a coach. Because the best breakthroughs come through amazing questions. So if I can be more inquisitive about my people, and not only my people, but myself, then I have breakthroughs, they have breakthroughs. The like lights just start popping off everywhere and the world becomes a little bit better and brighter. Now, it might sound a little Pollyanna. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and that work can get absolutely messy. But that's where also I think the resiliency and the imaginative stuff comes into play. And then once you mix all of that stuff together, having that influence for other people because you are doing the work, leading the way. I'm leading the way on becoming this new person every single day that I show up. And I make that decision most of the time intentionally. I'd like to say I'm 100%, but I ain't. Let's be real, I'm human and I have my days where it ain't so hot. However, after a cup of coffee, then I can make that decision more intentionally.
So you just returned from vacation you went on a safari. Talk to us about how you really had to lean into being present. You hadn't taken a vacation in a while. Talk to us about that intentionality with that vacation and being present and really unplugging. Because I think for entrepreneurs, for founders, I don't think any of us take enough time for that recharge and that rest and recuperation.
It is one of the things that I found this past year specifically that I needed more shut my brain off time. And it is damn near impossible to just take a break. It is hardly ever done. My vacations, I air quote vacations. People think when I go to Disney, it's a vacation. But for me, Disney is the most imaginative, collaborative, innovative place I can go to get business ideas. So while, yes, it's healthy for me to go and play a little bit, I'm also strategic planning while I'm there. So it's not fully a vacation. So this last trip, I went to South Africa. We did a safari, Cape Town, Victoria Falls, and then Kruger National Park. There's a private reserve on the side. We're doing game drives. In the middle of this trip, I'm sitting there, and like I mentioned to you before we hit record, I realized I'm not thinking like about literally anything. And I asked my travel agent friend who is part of the group, and I said, what have you been thinking about during this trip? And she's like, really not much. And I'm like, okay, this is she's like, you're on vacation. Allow this to happen. So I just started, I would journal to track, here's the stuff that we did today. But once we got to the national park and we started doing the sunrise and sunset game drives to go look for animals, like we were just driving around in a truck in the bush, looking for wild animals, elephants, zebras, rhinos, lions, leopards, cheetahs, you name it. We were looking for these animals. And I got so fully present. That was my mission, is looking for animals. Like, I then wanted to become that warrior princess that could track animals down, like the natural hunter Diana is. And I wanted to just go find the leopard and her cubs. Like, tell me everything. And I just started soaking it all up. When you have an experience like that, we stood and talked at one of our, they call them a sundowner. So when the sun goes down, you park and you have a little glass of wine, a little snack. And then we chatted a little bit and we just thought to ourselves, this is what a wealthy experience feels like. Like, you feel like the richest person in the world in that moment. You're watching the sunset in Africa, you're hearing the animals, the air is different. Usually we're probably parked next to a watering hole, so there might be a hippo out there or a crocodile on the other bank. Birds are flying. Like, you're really just taking it in. You start to see stars up in the sky. The constellations come out while you're out there. A whole of nature starts to just come alive and you are in the midst of it. There's no better, fuller moment of being present than that. And I did walk away going, I need to be able to incorporate this more often in my life because that helps recharge my batteries like nothing else. And I had a friend, she's like, your energy is totally different. I'm like, and I'm jet lagged. Like, I just got home Monday. Today is Wednesday, I think. And yet I'm still doing pretty good on attitude. And she's like, your energy has just shifted. I'm like, I'm hoping I can hang on to this for a while. So I will work on some tools to be able to, like, pull up on little videos and, like, I remember that cheetah or the lion looking at us like, why are you in my watering hole?
It's such an incredible reminder, though, for our entrepreneurs and our fellow founders, especially our female founders, right? We all wear so many hats. We're doing so many different things all day, every day. And as entrepreneurs, we feel like we have to be going 100% of the time, and we just can't. And, whether you're in that season of doing or season of being, you still have to have those moments of recharge and resetting. And yes, recharging those batteries and recharging that energy so that you can continue to go and continue to show up and show up fully, show up in your true, authentic way. So, Christy, something I've been asking all of my guests this season is, what are you powerfully choosing in 2024 and why?
I am choosing to live my vibrant life out loud. So I choose a word of the year every year, and this year's the word is vibrant. Last year was momentum. And every year it holds true. Like, that becomes a focus word that I thread through everything. Sometimes I'll do studies about it, or I make sure that I'm coming back to that on purpose. And am I choosing to do things that add more color, more life, more fun, more, to make my life vibrant? Do I feel like I'm getting to that point? And if I'm not choosing those things, that means I'm burning the candle at both ends, and that's not sustainable. I don't want to live a dull life. I want to live a vibrant life. And what does that look like? And so that's what I'm intentionally choosing, is to make sure that the things that I do choose are fulfilling that and feeding into the future life that I know I'm creating right now. So that's how that's working.
I love that. And living that vibrant life with those Wonder Woman themes is so incredible for your 2024 year. It's exciting to see. And I'm excited to see what comes in this next season now that you're fully charged after your amazing trip to South Africa. Christy, thank you so much for joining us. How amazing was that conversation with Christy Smallwood? Makes me want to go and watch all the Wonder Woman shows all over again. For your takeaway today, start to think about, as a woman, what attributes or accessories do you most resonate with? between Wonderwoman and the GSD Factor attributes. Also, as an entrepreneur, I want you to think about, have you had a chance to take that vacation? Have you had a moment to be present with yourself? You heard the amazing energy shift that Christy got to experience on her recent safari. Perhaps you're powerfully choosing this year to rest. Perhaps you're powerfully choosing to take a vacation. Whatever it is, plan it, manifest it, dream big for it. Perhaps you resonated with Christy's conversation around powerfully choosing to be vibrant this year. What does that look like for you? Thank you for joining the GSD Factor podcast as always. And don't forget to get shit done.
Thanks for listening to the GSD Factor podcast. If you liked this episode, please rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, where you can also find previous episodes. Let's also connect on LinkedIn and Instagram. If you're looking for more information on the GSD Factor, visit us at gsdfactor.com. And always remember to GSD, get shit done.